Good morning, Paragon Community. I'm the community manager here, KL Smith. I'm joined by Steve Superville, our creative director, and Nathan Mooney, community coordinator.
You know it.
The events man.
The events man.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Coach extraordinaire.
We're extremely excited to be in the first developer live stream in the history of Twitch. We're really excited. I hope you guys are ready to play. For those of you in the online tests, a lot of news going to come out in this stream. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, online tests to early access to we have Anothernotch in the building, community member that's going to be coming on. He's going to be streaming the game. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Before we get to that, Steve, can you tell us what Paragon is?
Sure. So Paragon is a project that was done out of love for competitive games and MOBAs. The team has worked really hard to get to this spot, and so we're excited that we have all the community in and they're playing the game and giving us feedback constantly. What we did was we set out to create a highly competitive game, a multiplayer game, and that's the only thing that we had as our initial goal. And what we did was look at what we were playing at the time. We'd come in from the evening, going home and play games, because that's what we do. And everybody would be talking about MOBAs, right? Their whatever MOBA they were playing, the stories that they had. And those were really sticky in a way that we'd be talking about the same stories for 2 or 3 weeks after they actually happened. And so, okay, well, could we explore this MOBA thing and see what we can bring to it? So we have this love for MOBAs because of the stories that come out of people playing, and we also have a love for action because we're Epic Games and we traditionally make action games.
Right.
And early on, we had this idea of what if we could give ourselves playing MOBA this feeling that we had when we were kids. And everyone had their favorite superhero. Mine was Superman, and I'd strap on the red blanket and climb to the back of the couch and jump off. And that sort of adrenaline rush was something that we weren't currently getting from a lot of the MOBAs that we played. That immersive, in-the-moment experience. And at the same time, so we have the love for MOBAs and love for action. At the same time, we knew we wanted to do a game that is hugely community-focused, and we can't make a successful MOBA without a fantastic community. They're going to play the game better than us in about 3 hours.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Try me.
maybe Mooney.
Try me. Come at me.
Yeah.
I challenge you. If I get defeated within 3 hours of this game going live, I will eat a sock.
How about shave your head?
I'll shave my yes. All right, shaving my head.
There we go.
If I'm in a game, you see Epic Mooney,
destroy this man.
and you destroy me,
Please.
I'll shave my head.
So here's I'm gonna just jump a little bit ahead.
That's fine.
He's talking a lot of talk. Now he is good. Now for those of you that have attended our events, knows that he is a bomb coach. But you have 3 losses under your belt, sir.
Those are all technicalities.
3 losses under your belt.
Those
Were they
are
all to KT?
Yes.
Every single one.
Every single one.
KL's brother.
One of them was to my Colin, my former boss, but it's fine. I mean, it happens, right? Like you can't. Perfection is achieved through triumph and defeat.
Okay. All right.
So
sorry to jump ahead. Well, okay. So Steve.
Yeah.
What do you think? And I know you said that the team is really competitive. And I have to just rabbit hole on this a little bit, because if you go by some of the rooms in the studio and you look outside of doors, we do these internal play tests. You'll see scoreboards of matches.
Yep.
Would you say that that's like the spirit of the studio? It's like, we love creating games, but everyone in the building is really highly competitive.
Yeah. There are large groups of people who have, they will group up and then try to matchmake a few minutes before the playtest officially starts so that they can try to get the team that they want to stomp. So there's a pretty good sized group of 5 or 6 teams that all try to.
I can tell you guys right now, our analytics team I'm out for blood for them. That's the team that I want the most.
The biggest nerds in the building and some of the best players.
Yes, yes, they will destroy us. All right, so online tests. We did online tests starting. The very first one was in December.
That's right.
And we just completed our last one this past weekend. March 12th was the last date. Can you kind of talk about, at a very high level, some of the biggest challenges we faced as a team going through online tests?
Yeah. So the first big challenge we faced as a team was being brave enough to put it out there for the community.
Right.
Like December, we wanted to try to do an online test. don't know if it's common knowledge, but it was actually supposed to be a couple days before, and the build didn't quite work out.
Yep.
We were like, okay, let's batten down the hatches and get things fixed, and we got it out on the 22nd.
I think it's right. It's a Tuesday.
Yep. And so it's the middle of the week. It's a Tuesday, and we didn't know if we were going to have any community engagement. It's right before Christmas. People are traveling.
Yep.
What's going to happen? And we got a good number of players. And for me, the most surprising thing was we sent out surveys after each online test. And a good survey adoption is in the 15 to 25% you get responses. We got over 50% responses.
Yeah, it was
so
crazy.
It's wow, people really care. Like they're way more excited and engaged than we had dreamed. So when we got through Christmas and into early January, we're like, people are giving us fantastic feedback. Let's just turn all the things on, right? So we had a bunch of features that we had kept out because they were halfway done and not quite where we thought they should be. We're just like, okay, let's turn on replays, let's turn on a bunch of other stuff, and see how people respond to it. And the engagement just ramped up from there.
Yeah.
So that the first challenge was getting over our own pride and egos and exposing ourselves to the community.
What's that? Phrasing.
Exposing the
Phrasing.
game to
Phrasing.
the community.
Was that like when when conceptual? I'm just gonna pass it. When
Yes, thank you.
conceptualizing the online test, was that kind of like the goal that you wanted to really work with the community on?
Yeah, because for online games, the best games, we're all competitive players, like Kale was saying. The best games come out of a partnership between devs and the community. And we learned, I tell this story probably way too often, but when we launched Gears for the first time and we had multiplayer, we thought weapons were balanced. And within a weekend, most of the kills came from the Nasher shotgun. And that was a real education for us that the community plays differently and better than the devs.
Yeah.
So we knew that if we're going to make a highly competitive game, they were going to be educating us rather than us like crafting this thing and offering on a silver platter. That's not the way it works.
And I don't know if you kind of said this earlier, but what do you think is the biggest piece of information that kind of surprised you coming out of online tests? And was it the balance of how quickly people adopted certain playstyles, or is it something else?
Yeah. So probably the most interesting thing for me was watching selection rates and win rates of different heroes shift around.
Yeah.
And we didn't always change things around those heroes. It was just watching the community grow and learn and get more proficient at a particular hero.
Yes.
And that's really exciting because a lot of times the hard part about online tests and being on the forums and being a part of the community is reading a lot of the feedback and trying to figure out what's actionable and what's not. There's a lot of great anecdotal data that comes out of people's experience, playing this character or that character, and those are data points. However, we were talking about it before the stream. It's like Twin Blast is overpowered because in one match, they sent a screenshot. In one match, he's 21-0, but the Twin Blast on the other side
is like
2 and 21. So it's we have to figure out this. That's a hard thing making games.
Yeah, it is. Balance is definitely something that's going to be ongoing and forever. From a feedback perspective, what do you think was the most feedback that we actually utilized? And then we have a couple of major posts that you were part of, some of the summaries. What kind of feedback do you think, for those that don't know, that we take and then immediately kind of turn around into actionable changes?
Well, probably one of the biggest ones, and we continue to get the feedback, is that combat felt a little slow, a little sluggish. So between OT2 and OT4, we went through an iteration where we improved movement speed. We made some changes for how controls feel when you're strafing. We improved the speed of projectiles, that sort of stuff. And it was interesting to me, and we're learning this as we go, right? We're doing it live with the community. The conversation before that change was game's too slow. Totally get it, right? We missed that part, and we made it better. The conversation after that was now a debate between people in the community.
Right.
Some people are like, well, it's Epic Games. You make UT, and we want UT speeds. And other people are like, no, they've been very clear to MOBA. So it's going to be MOBA speed, so you have a pacing to combat, and you can actually read and understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So we're not perfect, right? We're not in the sweet spot yet, but that change.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there with your guys' help.
Yep.
It's
helping
always
us.
really interesting seeing those conversations on the forums too, because I can recall like in hallways and stuff, like hearing people talk about the game.
yeah.
Because like we'll have a discussion, because I used to be on our competitive QA team. We'll have a discussion in the room talking about like, we feel like this is a little bit odd and we're not sure how this is working out, but I'll go to the hallway and hear somebody's completely different perspective on it.
Yep.
Then I'll go check the forums and read OT for a completely different than that perception. And then week to week that even changes. Like somebody can make a complete 180 and be like, oh, I saw it as this week, but like this week after playing some more, it's feeling better, or it's feeling worse, or just
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of it
opinions.
is alignment of expectations
Yeah.
with the game. But again, we're still not at that perfect spot, and I love it. I love when people from the community take time to make a really detailed, well thought out, crafted post. Jamie from our
Reddit.
he had posted a fantastic write up of, hey, I think the game is a little slow. Here's why I think it's slow, and he had a lot of really great points. And the thing that I pulled out of it is we need to improve our ability to outplay. Right, we're missing some opportunities. A lot of our abilities for readability have some longer tails in them, and so you can't make snap decisions that get you out of trouble.
Right.
And movement speed is a part of that, but it's a subset of a larger thing that we need to get better at.
Right.
And so, a large part of my job is spending time with you guys and reading the forums and Reddit and Twitter and trying to distill what the community is feeling and saying as a whole, rather than an individual's opinion. And taking that back to the design team and saying, okay, how can we improve from here?
Yeah. So one of the things about Steve, I think you were out of town this past week, so he was in LA for an event that we held, which we'll talk about here in a second. But one of the things that Steve does frequently is he'll come down, and the president of our company, Paul Megan, also does this. They'll come down over to community, and they'll say, hey, what's happening? What do I need to know about? What are the pressing issues? Which is, for any community manager, when you get someone that vested, especially for Steve, creative director of the game, coming down and asking about, what are the hot issues? What do we need to talk about? Everyone here really, really passionately cares about, the feedback that we get. So it was heartfelt. I had to let that be known, because, Steve comes down and talks to me quite frequently about this stuff. So
I want to clear that it's not just me. Like,
No,
these
it's
guys
not.
do a great job.
It's not.
They keep a list for me and the team about the top issues that are coming out of the forums or Reddit, and they provide context and a link, and then either myself or Paul or Dave Nash or Joe.
It's not falling on deaf ears. Like if somebody's responding and saying, hey, I've taken note of your feedback and we're gonna get it to the right people, it's gonna get into the right people's hands. Like the feedback is super important and critical to the process.
So this kind of gets into the philosophy of our feedback here. But what do you think we were trying to ultimately learn from the online tests, from just a philosophical design standpoint? What are the main goals?
Well, the first goal was, does our game function, right? And it's not even the design part, just the technical part. Can we match make? Can we get people in? Can they download it at appropriate speeds? How many crashes do we have? Too many. More than 0 is too many. That sort of thing. And then from the design side, it was a lot of learning how an online community functions with a game that has so much to learn. So I mentioned before that people's ability to learn heroes was a big part of it. People finding different combinations of heroes that might be overpowered. Right. People's use of cards and our card system is something brand new. We've never made it before, and it got more playtime in the first couple hours of us turning on the feature than it had in the entire development.
Exactly.
So that's the power. That's the power of the community.
Coolest thing, just seeing people theory crafting builds. We put out these cards. People are just immediately just putting up these theory crafted builds on the forum, and that is the best thing to see.
Yeah, because it's really awesome.
Yeah.
There's a little surprise that you guys will have here soon. We're working on a master deck building guide from the community and the Comp QA team and some of the staff members, where they have their personal builds that we're gonna put out to the public.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I put that together for you.
Releasing my personal builds.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
The Mooney build.
I'm gonna lose my edge, man.
The Mooney build.
That's it.
I want to finish off that question. So One of the things we need to learn from the design side was just this game function, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of very basic stat-driven cards early on, and the point of that is to make sure that the game doesn't fall over before we start layering in more interesting activatable cards. And we know, like, we have definitely heard the community say, and I really wish there were more interesting cards.
Yeah.
Totally agree, right? We're working on it. We have a lot of them lined up, but it's those only work and make the game better if the foundation is there.
And part of it is, like, some of them are fundamentally in the game, but we haven't released them because there's issues that we have to get, like Gateway, for example. You know, it took us a while to get to a point where we could put that in, or even want to test it because it was broken.
Yes.
So there's bugs around it.
Yeah.
So
you don't want to fall through the world.
exactly. So there's stuff like that kind of
We don't
holding
want that,
some of the cards back, but for sure, I mean, each new layer that we add on adds another element to the game that the community gets to play with, and then we find out new information about it. So it's exciting.
It is. It's great. And I love that we say early access, and we mean early access. The game's going to keep changing.
Yeah.
It's going to keep improving. We're going to make mistakes, and we're going to fix those mistakes. And the way we know when we make a mistake is you guys will tell us.
You guys will be sure to tell us. I get PMs all the time, so feel free to message me. I'll handle it all, organize it for the dev team, and we'll move on those issues.
Get it worked on.
So you know, I want to talk about hero balance because heroes are such a big element of the game. There's a great post over on the forums. I can't link it in chat right now, but there's a great post over on our forums from Joe Harrington, who's our lead systems designer. For those of you that were in Epic HQ at the community event, Joe was up on like a panel that we had kind of talking about gameplay balance. But since Joe isn't here, can you kind of talk about some of the philosophy behind how we go about balancing heroes?
Sure. So we have a couple classes of heroes. We have casters and typical MOBA classes. Casters, tanks, fighters, support, junglers, gankers, that sort of thing. And what we have is people have a role, and we need to make sure that their stats allow them to fill that role. And then players can use cards to bend them, you know, towards different roles. So you can have damage dealing Muriel as an example.
Right.
Or fighter steal. don't
Fighter
smile.
steal.
Don't act like you're doing
attack
something
speed
good
steal.
with that.
KL's build.
Yeah, that is my build.
Okay.
They found out about
don't
that in
encourage him.
London.
Don't encourage him. This is all right. I wash my hands of this.
So we have a baseline functionality that we believe the heroes should function in, and then we start comparing heroes to each other. Right, the fighters should look relatively similar in terms of stats and card usage and that sort of stuff. And then we get analytics, and we get feedback from the community through the forums and surveys in order to figure out where things are functioning properly and where things need adjustment or are flat out broken.
Right.
And we go from there. So we've seen lots of different variations. You know, the probably most surprising to me is the DPS Decker, because her kit is very geared around control and manipulation of the battlefield and support. But she can deal out some damage if you build her like a glass cannon.
Yeah.
And then she can cordon people off using her abilities to make sure she can actually hit that damage.
Yeah.
And that's been really interesting.
What happened? Oh, there we go. I almost lost my notes. Based on the online tests going forward, as we get ready to enter early access and then push on open beta, what do you think are the primary issues that we need to address going into early access?
Let's see. So first one is continue to improve the feel of combat. We need to get more heroes in. Right? Our hero roster is not nearly big enough. We know that. We need to expand our card library, and as new heroes come online, the ones that are coming are kind of set in stone. But as we get farther past them, we have to expand the library of abilities that we can put on heroes, and that'll allow for some more interesting counterplay between heroes and synergies. Those are probably the biggest ones. There are a bunch of other ones that are just like the business part of running the game. We have the store coming online, getting more cosmetics in so that people can show off their dedication to the game.
Beautiful peacocks.
Yep, beautiful peacocks. Yes. We have a lot of fun things. I wish I had more clarity, because the world is going to change for us on the 18th. we're going to go
The
from
whole world.
The whole world.
The whole world is just
The whole
going
world
to change.
changes. And we're very likely going to get into a spot where we're reacting to fallout from having more people come in.
Yep.
And hopefully very quickly stabilize and be able to progress towards all the features we want to add.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the events. I'm going to explain my process and the community team and kind of collecting feedback that we've established going forward. So I want to hit that, and then we're going to show the early access launch trailer here momentarily. We're moments away. Mooney,
Moments away.
can you talk about some of the community events? You guys were both fresh out of LA,
Yes.
and we have Nacho. He's going to talk a little bit about Epic HQ, but you talked about coaching. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
You're 21-3,
21-3.
2 losses
The legend.
to my brother,
Yes.
KT,
2 losses to your brother, yes.
and then 1 loss to Colin.
Yeah.
What has it been like at the community events for you from a coaching?
It's actually been really awesome. So the biggest thing for me was going to these events and seeing the people passionate about the game.
Yeah.
So I had people, various people at the events who would come up to me and be like, "Oh, I'm trying out this build. Like, what's your deck look like? Like, what are you working on with the decks?" Because I was telling them, like, I'm the competitive QA team. Like, we work
Right.
on we have a lot of weird strategies we use and like things we like kind of find and fine tune and stuff to like really win the game.
Right.
But it was really interesting seeing how many people were passionate, were theory crafting, doing all the stuff that we do on a daily basis, but just on their own because they're so happy about the game and just the state of things, but like also giving a ton of feedback. So the biggest thing for me was those feedback sessions we had at HQ.
Yeah.
Where like we had the panel of developers, then we just had people, barreling questions at them, and I know Steve has experienced that firsthand.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing is like people getting the information they need and just the things like see what we can offer them because
Right.
that's the biggest thing, and just seeing people happy, like whether I'm hyping up you last hitting or I'm hyping up you making the play of the century, like interrupting that Gideon ult. Like I know how many times that happened and I've just popped off. We at the SF event I actually had people who worked upstairs come down to see if somebody was dying because I was getting so loud that they assumed somebody was in pain or hurt in some fashion.
Right.
And they were just like, that's. I was just like, I'm sorry, am I too loud? They're like, no, you're fine, keep going.
It's just Mooney.
It just happens.
Right.
Mooney's a really good hype man.
Yeah.
It's what's necessary.
Right.
It is necessary to.
The worst play in the game is like the best play in the game.
Yeah,
If Mooney's coaching you.
it's like, oh my God, he just hit you with that ult. It's fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's the key is the people just feeling good, getting that feeling like you were talking about with like the idea and the philosophy behind Paragon, like getting those moments in MOBAs where you're like, oh my, that happened.
Yeah.
That's what I live for in those games. Those hour-long games where it's back and forth. We take an inhib, you take an inhib.
Yeah.
It's 55 minutes in. We get to that like those really close matches. It's not always about those like 20-minute slumps where we're like, oh, I'm clearly bad. It's those tight
Where your heart's
matches.
pounding,
Yeah,
adrenaline's
the
pumping.
adrenaline's pumping. You're Sparrow. You got no health. The rest of their team's low. They're running at you, and you just got to turn on, go into the zone, and then just clear them out.
Win the game.
Yeah.
So there was a game that happened where it was like 2 days ago. Was it Saturday where you were playing by yourself?
Ooh,
And I was
yes.
You weren't playing by yourself.
Yeah.
Production was up there with you.
Yeah, we were playing with the production.
And
yes.
you guys were playing against one of the QA teams.
the
and,
offsite QA team. Call-outs.
You guys won the game.
Yes, we did win the game.
So, I thought they were going to lose. It was a struggle.
It was, yeah.
You
the,
overcame.
The disparity was there, but we overcame, and
I heard you coaching everyone. Like, there was a bad play. It's okay, guys.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
We have to get in the zone, man.
Pushing through.
Yes. So, and that's what it's all about is making sure it's that MOBA mentality. You kind of get into the zone. You're like, all right, you know what? We can still do this.
Right.
That's one of my boys on comp, James, always inspiring me. Just like, we'll be listening to him like, we can't. Just, what are you talking about? We're still winning. It's like, James, they have all of our towers. We're still winning. What are you talking about? So that's half of it. We got to do it, man.
Okay. So I want to just chime in and say, from a design perspective, we have a UX lab here at Epic,
Yeah.
and we bring people in, and we basically sit them down, and we do eye tracking to see what they're looking at, and all the sessions are recorded. They do surveys and give feedback and stuff like that. We have this glass room behind them where we can all sit and watch the actual first-time player behavior, so we can figure out how to make the game better. I think my favorite moment from the UX tests has been these kids from the local college community, kids like I'm so old, had never played the game before, and in 20 minutes they pulled off this combo where Rampage, Grux was up here fighting, Rampage leapt in, smashed down on top of people, Gideon teleported in, triggered his ult, somebody tried to run away, Grux pulled him back in, and then Steel ulted on top of him, and then wiped the entire team. I was just like, you guys, 23 minutes into their very first game, they pulled off this fantastic wombo combo.
Yes.
That's
As
nice.
like that, we've got something here. Like, people are getting it, and that's really exciting. So it's one of those things where I tell that story, and it's like, that could have happened, or you call BS, right? But that's what the replay is there
replays
for, right?
Right.
Replays are, it's a replay.
We'll talk about that here shortly.
Replay
too.
or it didn't happen.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
something I hope pops up in the community.
Basically.
Yeah.
So I want to talk real quickly about the process of handling feedback, then we're going to jump to this video. I'm going to make this real quick. So on the forums, if you guys have already been there before for any online test players, basically let us know how you guys feel about any process of the game. Basically what we do is there's a summary that goes out where we take some of the top issues or current issues, present it to the design team, and then we cross-check a lot of that with analytics and surveys to see how anecdotal forum feedback lines up with game data. And the process, again, we talked about a little bit earlier, for online tests has been really enlightening. So continue to give us feedback and make sure that if anything, just ping me directly. I'll take a look at your threads. We always try to respond to feedback that we see, and like I said, we're very community focused. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that before we hopped into gameplay early access trailer.
Yes.
It's gonna be good.
So good.
Here it comes.
Are you guys ready? So that was the early access launch trailer. I hope you guys like that. We were watching it. This is maybe my fourth time seeing the trailer. Every time I see it, first off, let's talk about the Muriel shot.
Yeah,
Where it's just like Superman
across the sky.
Zekemus up in the back. He's like, that's me.
That's
But the shot where she's coming in through the air.
Yeah.
You talk about being Superman, jumping off with your
flying in
the
like
cape
Superville.
flying. Yeah.
Who needs Superman? We got Superville.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, I mean, that's one of my favorite shots. And then you mentioned the stories from UX Lab, right? There's so many stories in that access trailer that really, I mean, they happen in game, right? You see the Steel fighting that Gideon, and Grux is right like, no, you're not going to kill my Gideon. Pulls him towards him, and then you see like him whiff the punch, right? Like as he comes back.
Yep.
So there's like so many things that you can pull away that are, and I have to mention this, that was all made with our in-game replay system.
Yep.
Everything.
Everything
So
there's none of it's post-processed except we have labels.
titles and labels and stuff like that. But if you guys wanted to make a trailer like that, you could definitely organize a trailer
Do
like
that,
that.
please.
Please do
actually.
it.
Please
we'll be
do
looking
that.
for that.
That would be great.
NDA lifts today in about an hour, so please do it. But yeah, I mean, early access preview week starting. Just showed off the trailer. You know, there's a lot of new things coming with this build. There's some things that are going to carry over from release notes for those of you that were playing online test 10. Most of the changes are going to be about the same. There's some new progression stuff. We're unlocking more features that we didn't previously have in. You kind of want to run us through a couple changes that are coming in?
Yeah, so one of the changes that's coming in is a very brief survey at the very beginning of the match to ask how MOBA familiar are the players, because MOBAs are hardcore games, and the last thing we want is your first player experience for somebody to come in to be playing Hits Mooney.
Yeah. I mean, because I will destroy you.
We often say around here that basketball is a great sport, but if you had to play against...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll guide you to victory.
Exactly.
Basketball's a great sport, but if you had to play against Kobe or LeBron every time you played, it would become less and less fun very quickly.
Right.
So we basically ask, are you a new player, beginner, experienced, or veteran? And then what we do is gate people from playing PvP unless they say veteran. So if you guys have been in the OTs, please select veteran, so that you guys can jump in and start playing PvP and go back to having fun together. See what else is on this. So we found out from a lot of the analytics that some of the characters that have really great heroic fantasies, like Kalari, are often chosen but have very low win rates as new players jump in, because she's such a mechanical and positional and knowledge-based character.
Yeah, for sure.
What we wanted to do was make sure that people have a good first experience. There are lots of other characters, so we're gating 3 up to level 7, which is 3.5 hours of play, both the average win-loss rate of 50%.
Right.
So it's not that long for you. If they're your favorite characters, you can get them unlocked again real quickly. And
they're unlocked at level 7.
They're unlocked at level 7, profile level 7. So what we wanted to do is make sure that first-time players who are coming in for Founders Packs have a good selection of heroes to choose from, but they aren't going to choose one where they're basically, according to the data, guaranteed to not perform.
Right.
Let's see what else was on the list. So we have deck save slots are now unlocked from basically progression. So at different points in your profile progression, you get deck save slots. We have our daily reward system, which has been active for a while, but because we've been running weekend tests, you've basically been able to get 2 whole days before it's reset.
8 hours.
So now it's going to be on, and you can get deck save slots and a bunch of other rewards from playing that.
Rack up that rev.
Yep. Get lots of reputation. And daily rewards are your first win each day, and it's from any game type. So you can play solo or co-op or PvP. At the end of the round, you get a reputation bonus for your first win, and you unlock something from the daily reward, which will give you some sort of gift.
Okay.
Sometimes card packs, sometimes boosts, sometimes deck save slots, time currency, that sort of thing.
Okay. And then we also have the master challenges.
Yeah, right. Master challenges
unlock. Now they were visible in OT10, and people could go along the path, but Founders Packs weren't available, and you couldn't. I don't think anyone could buy because the monetary stuff wasn't on monetization. But you couldn't purchase the master challenge. Can you kind of run through the idea behind what a master challenge is?
Sure. So okay, I'll be trying to get this to be very clear. You get to play the hero, no matter what.
All heroes are free.
Right.
Wait,
all heroes are free.
Are all heroes free?
All heroes
are free. Hashtag all heroes free.
Yes. So you can always play the game, right?
Yeah.
And you can always play your favorite hero, except Kalari and Grux and Feng Mao after level 7, but they're free.
Yeah.
So they unlock then. And then what you have is levels 1 through 5 of the Master Challenge are playable and earnable rewards, whether you have unlocked the hero Master Challenge or not.
Right.
From there, you have 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And when you unlock, either with time currency or real money, the Master Challenge, you get the Challenger skin right off the bat. And 6 and 7 are basically reward plus, Master Tributes.
Yep.
And 8 is you unlock your emote, and 9 is another Master Tribute, and then 10 is the Master Skin. and it's going to take roughly 100 hours or so of playing to get to the master skin.
Right.
And it's, do we have it to show?
We don't have
Notch
it
is
to
gonna show it later.
show, but Notch is going to, when we host the stream, he will be showing off the challenger skins.
Yeah.
And as soon as the website is live, which should be any moment now, people will be able to see. They're going to see 2 new heroes on the page, Severog and Iggy and Scorch.
Yep.
And they are going to be able to look through exactly what you kind of talked about. They're going to see the challenger skin. They're going to see the master skin, and the master skin.
Woo! Yes.
Our art team is amazing.
Killing
It looks great.
Yeah.
Was it animated? It's like an animated.
Yeah, it's animated, kind of molten core, kind of.
Wait till you guys see.
It's hard to describe. So what we wanted to do for the Masters Challenge, or our philosophy for adding value and giving value to players, is to always value their time and money.
Yep.
So you can play a character and earn levels 1 through 5 and get those rewards, and have actually earned but not unlocked all the way up to level 10. And whenever you have enough time currency, or you get a little bit of money together and you want to unlock the rest of the rewards,
Yeah.
they are there for you.
Yeah.
So we don't stop you from progressing right at level 5 because you haven't given us money. You
Right.
continue to progress,
Yeah.
and then at whatever point in the future you're able to unlock the Master Challenge, you get everything you've earned up to that spot. If you earned up to level 8, you get the emote and all the things before that, and then you finish off up to level 10, you get them right away.
So all that time you put into the
All the time is
it's there.
maintained.
So
Nice.
my Muriel and Still game are going to be on point, and I'm going to have my master skins available on those 2 characters first.
You're gonna be the first.
I'm going to try to be the first.
That's try.
Try.
Yeah.
Fight words.
I'm going to do it.
This guy.
I'm going to do it. So we talked about the cosmetics. There's also emotes,
Yes.
which I think we had some of them. People got the preview in
Yeah.
online tests.
Yes, right. Yep.
So some of them were shown off at the beginning of the early access trailer. You guys kind of saw some taunts that the heroes were doing, but there's lots more stuff that we're continuing to work on throughout the life of the game. So this is a starting point.
This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning.
The beginning.
So I'm going to say it because I don't know if it's relevant, but I like it because I think it shows who we are. We are very community focused.
Yeah.
It's about making the community, it's about making you guys feel special, not about making us feel special.
Right.
So when you encounter an Epic employee who has the Epic tag in front of their names, if they have a master level skin, it's because they played and earned it. We are not giving master level skins away to employees
Right.
just because they got paid to make the game.
They gotta play.
Right. So if you see a master level skin running around, either community member or an Epic employee, it's because they played.
Yeah.
And
Because
they
I'm a
worked
master.
because Mooney is
I'm a master. Yeah. That's why I have it.
Show
Who's your apprentice?
You, Kale.
Oh,
You're my apprentice.
I set myself up for that one, didn't
Yeah. It's just
I? We're gonna move on. We started chatting about community, how community focused we are. We got Notch about to come on. I wanted to talk about some of our primary goals with community because we want to bring on more people from the community onto our streams, whether they be Twitch streamers. And these are the people that we brought out to these events. They were Twitch streamers. They were forum posters, people just playing the game
All
and
kinds of
providing us feedback. They are YouTube people. They're cosplayers. They're people from different games that aren't even interested. They might be
Reddit moderators.
Yeah, Reddit moderators. They might be, kind of interested in MOBA, but they see Paragon and they're saying, hey, I'm really interested in the game. Can I learn more about it? All walks of life, all types of gamers. We're embracing them, and we want them to be a part of the community. One of our big primary goals is collaborating, and when Notch comes up here, he can kind of talk about this. But we want to collaborate with the community to help build the absolute best possible game that we can, and we want to improve on the iteration of the game at a rapid pace, but each time that you guys get a new build, we want to make something better.
Yes.
And we want to help foster really positive, lasting relationships. I think anyone that attended those events, if they were mingling with folks, they probably will, continue, and I've already seen it a little bit, but they will continue to have relationships with those people, and we think that's really important. And we want to celebrate incredible player moments, and that's one of the main reasons that the replay system is in is so when someone says replay or it didn't happen, you can be like,
can
well,
actually,
I got it.
You can actually have it.
It
shown to
happened.
them.
So, you know, we want to celebrate that. We want to make sure that we're spotlighting people that, you know, are creating awesome content or showing us awesome replays. You know, we want to feature that content. We want to post it on our blog. We want to post it on our social channels. We think that's really important, and we think that it'll continue to foster really great content and, you know, player interactions with you guys. And then that gets into encouraging community-driven creation. So by us doing that, we're hoping that you guys will continue to make awesome guides for new players coming in or coaching people like Mooney, getting the coaching skills, just to make the entire community a lot better. And then we want to share those with you guys. So, Notch, come on up.
Where are you at?
Back here, I'm sorry. What's up, guys?
How you doing,
Hey.
buddy?
Doing well, doing well. Excited to be here on this couch in front of these people. There's like 8,000 people watching, by the way, though.
Oh man.
Why are you saying numbers?
That was small numbers. There's
Now
way
we're
more
gonna
than that.
now we're gonna have to walk up and end the stream because he just told us how many people. Oh my God! No, just joking. So, Josh, you had quite the experience getting here.
Oh, God.
Can we talk about that just a little
uh,
bit?
Can we?
Yeah,
I was
sure.
told ahead of time that I'm not allowed to curse.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do my best right now. So you lovely people were like, "Hey, come out," and I said, "No. Why would I want to do that?" You guys convinced me. You said you'd buy me an airplane ticket, which I should have just drove myself, is what I found out. I get to the airport. As soon as I pull up, they're like, "Your flight's canceled, or it's delayed." And I was like, "It's delayed. Okay, we can work with delay. We can
Yeah.
work with delay." They're like, "Till about 7:30." Okay. And then 20 minutes after that, now it's 9:30. All right, we'll deal with that too. And then like 15 minutes after that, I hear somebody stand up and yell. Why is he yelling? What's happening?
Yeah.
And he is freaking out because it's completely canceled. They didn't tell us. And we're just sitting in the airport. There's like 30 of us. The flight is completely booked. And nobody knows what's going on. So we walk up and say, "Oh, you guys can go to Charlotte," which is 3 hours away from here, 2.5 hours away from here.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, well, let's do that." She goes, the plane's leaving in like 5 minutes, so you have to run." I don't run. You can go look at me. That's not a thing I do often. And so I'm running down to get to the next terminal, and I show up. He's like, "It's a good thing you got here, because we're leaving." They were closing the doors.
Oh God.
There's like 5 people behind us.
Is
So
it
we
one of those
finally-
action movie sequences you just
Yeah,
slid under the door?
I punched an old woman.
Nice.
I tackled a baby, and I finally got my seat.
Nice, okay.
And
Good.
yeah, and then we get out. I get to Charlotte, and rented a car, and just downpour.
Of course.
So it was the 2.5 hour drive turned into like 3 because of the traffic and the rain. But it was good. I got here.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep a wink last night. It was.
I was like, I
Who
sent
needs
him a text.
sleep?
no, not at all.
Josh sent me a text like, "I'm here." It was like midnight. I'm like, "Look, dude, we're not gonna do a run through of the stream at midnight. Get some rest, please." And then I go pick him up at the hotel, and he's like, I said, "Well, did you get any rest?" He looks at me and he's like, "No."
No. It was like 5 o'clock.
5
I
o'clock in the
finally
morning.
fell asleep. And then it was like 7, my alarm went up. It takes a while to get the beard pretty.
Yeah.
So I had to wake up, and there's oil. There's all sorts of things that happen
Yeah,
there.
naturally.
And it was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not sleeping. So it'll be fun, guys. You guys get to see amazing Paragon play from me
With 0 sleep.
with 0 sleep.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
You know what? You know what? It's okay. You can show off the skins.
I'm going to show
You can be pretty.
Woo! Guys, the skins, the Founders Pack skin, the unique skin, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You guys can see it on the website, I think. But I saw it in game. KL showed me. Oh my god. The skins are fantastic. I am...
Thanks, Harris.
I hate to
They're
do
so
this.
good.
I'm so sorry for doing this. Fang Mao's locked at level 7. I saw the Fang Mao Challenger skin, and I was like,
I got it from my desk and looked at it because he was so overreacted,
Yeah.
and I was just like, this can't be real.
They're beautiful.
It's real. It's real.
It's real. They're things that are in game right now. They're beautiful. It's another part of the game that's you guys didn't go. You didn't shy away from skins, especially that howitzer skin. It's just
the Hot Rod Howitzer.
oh my god.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
You
so
guys,
good,
you
guys.
guys will see it on the website, which I think it could be live
It could be live.
right now.
And on
We
the
had someone
website
come
you
in and
showed
tell
me
us.
that
Not
steel,
yet, not yet.
that steel master skin, level 10.
That was the
Is it
that
just
was
a
the
picture?
challenger.
Is it just
oh
a-
no,
No,
you're talking about on the
it's
website.
the picture. It's just a picture.
It's a picture of me on steel.
It's you. It's you. It's Mooney
It's
on
Mooney's
steel. It's
face
just his face.
photoshopped on top of steel.
And that amazing personality. Steel doesn't stop talking, from what I've heard.
Oh.
He just goes. I meant to squash this rivalry. I apologize,
It's
Mooney.
fine.
I
You
love
just
you.
These two
you,
have
you
a-
come into my house.
I'm
These two have a
sorry, I'm
unspoken
sorry.
rivalry
You
that
come into
happened
my
at
house
the
and
Epic
you-
HQ event.
So it's a challenge me to a 1v1. I was just like, I mean, I have 10 minutes if you want to go right now. Like, we can just play quickly. Just get it out of the way.
He gets here and he just looks at Mooney. He's like, "What's up?"
I've not met the guy 5 minutes. He's already calling me out.
It's because all you did, the instant we heard about Mooney, like the god of Paragon.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
And I
Well-
have to dethrone that. I am God.
stop.
Okay, so Notch, Josh,
Yes.
we didn't do proper intro. Community member, Twitch streamer extraordinaire. If I'm not mistaken, we're also running your own podcast.
Yes, I host the Heroes of the Storm podcast
Yes.
called Stormcast.
Yep. So awesome stuff. We are so excited to have you out. I had to let people know about the struggle to get here.
Struggle.
It was real.
We overcame.
We did.
Overcame those obstacles, and now you're here. Very happy to have you, man. Can you kind of talk about your experience at the Epic HQ event? Because I vividly remember what you stood up and said, and it will forever remain in my cranium.
What did
about
I
that.
say?
You
Was it good? What was I?
No,
It's all a blur to me.
it was great.
Okay.
But from your personal, I'll
Yeah,
let
that's good.
people
That's
know what
Okay.
he said after he gets done explaining, if he doesn't remember to say.
So this was. I've done press for Blizzard, and I've gone to BlizzCon as press and covered those events, and it's all been fantastic.
Uh-huh.
But it was the first time I've been invited to an event like the first community event. And I walked in first. It's Epic Studios, guys. There's Gears of War memorabilia everywhere, and that's a game I spent thousands of hours on. So for me, it was just like, this is my childhood. Like I did this for hours, and I got yelled at by my mom. Turn off the damn video games. And now I'm standing here, like, haha, look, you said it wasn't gonna get me anywhere. I'm at Epic.
Right.
And I walked in and we took the tour, and it was fantastic. And then we got to talk to you guys. And the one thing that shocked me at first was the way you received the feedback that the community was giving. It wasn't like, oh no, we'll think about it. It was, yeah, no, we'll do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? But what do you mean you're gonna do that? Why? No, we're gonna do that. We're gonna give you API. We're gonna do all these things for the community to make sure the community succeeds. And to me, that was mind blowing. That was such a fantastic experience. And then we got to play. I mean, met some incredible people here, and it was one of those moments that I don't know why I'm here. Right now, guys, I have no idea why I'm here, but it's such an honor to be here, and it's to see the way you guys have taken the community and you've listened from OT2 up until OT10 last weekend, and you've changed everything. It's a different game than when we first got in. It's night and day, and just the way you guys have received the community and listened to our feedback, it was absolutely amazing. And the event itself, I mean, it's something I'll never forget. It was, you guys wined and dined us, which was fantastic.
Oh, that food was so good.
Oh, the food was.
Wait, we had food on top of food.
We had more food than
It was
I
like
even
food on
could
top
eat.
of food on top of food, and I eat a lot, guys. Don't let this
Oh my
Figure.
god. Stop. Stop.
deceive you.
What's
could
happening?
He's-
That yellow
he's premium.
sauce.
That
Yellow
He knows
sauce.
about that yellow
The
sauce.
yellow sauce. That was
Dipping in that
that was
yellow
to die
sauce.
for. But no, the event was an incredible event, and I never thought I would be at an event like that. I'm just a streamer. I just get on, and I don't have 2,500 people watching me, and
Yeah.
so being here was just one of those moments that I'll never forget. That.
Yeah, and
That was the cool thing. It's like the wide range of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's if you are making awesome stuff.
Cosplayers, artists. I mean, it was everybody. It
Yeah.
wasn't just the big guys, which we normally see.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we've seen it with games where it's like, who has access? Oh, it's the people with the following. These guys have it, and that's not. I didn't get that vibe. For me, it was like, hey, let's help everybody from
Right.
from the small guy up to that big guy, but let's get everybody in here and show them what we're doing.
yeah,
And the fun we have.
it's very, very important to us to do that. And the exact thing that you stood up and said was something about, we were on a panel, we're doing one of the panel sessions, and you said you hadn't been to an experience like this and it reminded you of like a GDC.
Yeah.
Or some type of conference
Yeah,
where,
right.
it's like a community panel, and it was like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
And that's
So-
what it was. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys took the time to listen to
Yeah.
everything. There was no, I mean, there were some dumb ideas, like that surrender button, which we'll talk about.
Oh my.
Which I distinctly...
The 10 minute,
I think I
offshoot.
said...
I remember
The
that
10
part.
minute.
You remember?
Yeah.
Okay, because I told him for like a day.
Sorry, who forgets that?
There was-
I mean,
So we're talking, and I want to say it was Toby,
oh,
Yeah.
Toby was involved in that.
you, and then
Fats?
I don't
think it was Fats, right?
Fats might have been in there.
Was
And there was
involved.
2 other people, and as soon as we mentioned the surrender, it was like, and we knew
The
we,
room
like,
exploded.
Yeah, the room
We
exploded.
got everybody in the room.
Right. So I mean, it's one of those features, and maybe we can I'm sure it's a question that you have.
Oh, it's
for it.
there. It's,
All right, so
yeah.
Steve, we're gonna let Steve tackle that here in a bit, but
Sure.
it's one of those things that is highly, debated within the community.
It's a
and
religious debate.
It is.
Yes.
It is. It's like, do you like Oreos or chocolate chip cookies type of debate? I'm an Oreo
Coke,
guy.
Pepsi.
Well, I mean,
Coke,
that's not
Pepsi.
that's not a question. It's Coke and Oreos. So.
Do you?
I mean,
do
it's-
you
no,
dip
that's a
your
question.
Oreos in the Coke?
No, what? No, that's no.
Oh, okay. You saying those?
No,
are
those
two,
are the 2 options.
Oh.
Those are the distinct winners.
It's Pepsi.
Okay.
I have to agree with the Oreos. I mean, Oreos are delicious.
But,
There you go.
But it's Pepsi. Coke is too
At
sweet.
least no one said chocolate chip cookies.
Don't ruin
Chocolate
this.
chip cookies.
What is
Oh my
happening?
God! All right.
But yeah, so.
Yeah.
that's-
Okay.
We had
All
some
right, moving
hot
on.
debates.
So I'm gonna go back to something that Notch said. So we like to think that we're good at math, but not me. Still, I can do very simple math, which is there are a little over 100 developers working on the game, and there are thousands of community members. Thousands, right? Your brains are going to get to problems faster and
Right.
solutions faster than ours will.
Right.
So why would we not listen?
That's a
it
great
just,
point.
It baffles me.
And
why-
we've seen it though, and that's the thing. Like, if you look now, we look at games that come out, and I don't want to badmouth any video games, but they come out and they're not done because they've done testing and they don't listen to that feedback. And every week we got changes.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
get our survey, we do our survey, we'd fill it out, and I feel like I actually impacted that because this was a change I talked about, and now it's fixed or it's been improved. I've been calling it the media map since you guys have changed it because it's no longer a mini map, it's kind of
Oh, yeah.
big.
Yeah, yeah.
But it gives us paths, and that's something
Yep.
we brought up at the
Right.
community map or the community event. We need to see something, and I think it was OT10 when it went
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jungle pathing.
And it's amazing. Now I'm not getting lost, but it's all something that we talked about, and it's now there.
That's right.
And for us, for me, that was huge. Where it's because I've talked about changes with other games, and you don't ever see those changes come.
And you know why it affects him so much?
Who-
His boy Rampage.
Oh yeah, it's a
It
boy,
does.
of course.
Rampage is the greatest character in the game, by the way.
His boy Rampage. Jungling.
It's a little bit of favoritism to the.
No, but that's because he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's favoritism, but I'm right. So, like,
Well,
you can't argue with Rampage being a god.
we'll settle this. Some
We're gonna settle. We're
We'll figure
putting
it
this
out.
aside for this event. We've talked about this. Truce.
Yeah.
I love you. You're a beautiful human being. But after this event, you're going down.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Other thing I wanted to say is we get paid to make games,
Mhm.
which is great, and we get paid to take criticism as gracefully as we can and integrate it, right? But I don't know if I'm the first one to ever do it, but I've started doing like hashtag Foods for Devs as people give compliments for how we're doing it,
Mhm.
because that's why I get up and go to work,
Right.
and it just feels really good to have people say, we really appreciate the way you're doing this. Keep on doing this. The game's not perfect. Here's my criticism.
Thank you
Great,
for
yeah.
listening.
But thank you for
Yeah.
listening,
Yeah.
and thanks for getting people to come out of big community faces and not known yet community faces, and that's really encouraging because it makes it feel like we're on the right path. Right.
Right.
As we learn to do this, we're going to make missteps, but we're getting there.
Yep. Definitely agree. So, the 2 other events that we went to were London and LA. You guys I can talk a little bit about the London event. It was super fun. Met some awesome people. Obviously, whenever we go offsite, it's not quite the same experience as Epic HQ because we just have more resources here. But we basically take our setup. We take devs, we take the comp QA team, we take people that can coach, and then we send them to different areas, around the world at this point. And we try to bring in community members that we can't hit in a specific event because of limited space or whatever, they're locked to a specific.
Yeah,
Some people couldn't
distance
travel, like
location,
Kia,
yeah.
for example. So we go there and then invite those people out. And London was no different than XQ. We had a really nice sit down session where we went through everyone's, like every single
real
person,
close circle,
his
just one by
feedback.
one,
Yeah, and they just one by one we went through everyone's feedback about, hey, how can we improve? What were your thoughts about the game? And then it was funny because every time we got to the last person, they were like, well,
he took mine.
he took mine. I don't know what to say now, but it's really awesome to meet so many people that are passionate about the game, passionate about the community, and just want to see us get better and improve. And that's really important to us. So LA,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
guys.
So LA was awesome. Was an awesome event. Like we had a good group of people out there that were all like super passionate about getting into the game and learning it. I remember like one distinct moment is we had the first game of the day on PC, and Steve was on my team, and we had one guy who he was like, how everybody raised their hand and said they were MOBA familiar, and I was like, yeah, and he's just like, I did not raise my hand, and I was just like, oh, all right, so I know that you're kind of learning and understanding it. So I had him, I think I put him on Twin Blast,
Okay.
and he's like, oh, cool, that guy looks cool, like I want to play him, and he ended up picking it up like super quickly. I was surprised. Like I didn't have to actually go over to him as much as I had to go over to some of the MOBA people who were like maybe expecting something. Like they would like ask questions like, oh, what's this? Like what am I doing over here? Am I doing this right? And he was just like kind of like feeling it out because he could come in with I have no experience. I'm just gonna try stuff. And he ended up being super successful. People ended up just banding around him at the end of the game and like helping him lead to victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that speaks volumes about the game itself. I was talking to some guys about how you don't have to have MOBA experience because it's not just a MOBA. If you've played Gears of War, if you've played a third person, if you've played any shooter, there's all mechanics in this game that are familiar to anybody who's ever picked up a controller.
Yep.
And I think that's what made this game, for me, like, as soon as I started playing it, was so unique, was that I don't have to know anything about MOBAs, I don't have to understand what I'm doing, but I can play this game and I feel like I can excel with certain characters. And eventually learning those special tactics for MOBAs, those all come in while you're playing the game, and I think that speaks for the development of the game itself.
All right, thanks.
Seeing that broken, like the biggest thing for me was seeing that the MOBA barrier to entry, like that often occurs where people kind of get turned off from MOBAs. Like
We still need to improve.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
Well, like-
still need to improve there.
that's 100% true. But that's what you guys are here for. That's why we have that back and forth. But I know I got turned off to MOBAs like when I first started playing them. But it took a while for me to get there. But like people are picking up the game, they're feeling comfortable, and that's really great to see that.
Steve, you got any special moments from LA?
From LA, let's see. So, I was sitting next to Joey and Melanie. And he lost his mind the first time a team fight happened. Gideon Zoll and Steel went slamming down on something.
Yeah, just all those.
And it was just like he was enthusiastic.
Yes,
to
to say the
and I know
least.
his personality is enthusiasm.
Right.
But he was enthusiastic about what he had just experienced. He's like, let's play another game.
Oh yeah, that was the sentiment. It was just running back games.
And from London, my favorite quote was press and community tend to be a little different. Press is paid to go out and experience games, and they tend to be more reserved, especially European press. And one of the guys had just finished an hour and 10-minute match, which they just barely lost. And I walked up, and he was in the middle of saying, I didn't come here today to become so competitive. It just happened. I'm like, oh, we did it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I specifically remember that match too.
Yeah.
We had two intense matches going on. There was like two
it was pretty
really
crazy.
close matches.
We had that at the last match of my
yeah.
night. It was like 59 minutes, and we had just lost. It was like one team fight.
I think I heard you across the...
I was so
I was in this
sad.
building, and you were in the other building.
Yeah,
I heard you.
it was like one thing. We were like, no! And that was it. It was game over at that point. I was like, I escaped, I lived, and I got to watch our core get destroyed.
Yeah.
Which is very sad.
So, I know you guys have been watching us talk for a little bit. We're going to throw on some gameplay. Notch is going to ask us some questions. We're going to talk about community in general. Going to ask Notch some questions. Hope he can answer them for us. But we want to make sure that we talk about some community tools and let you guys check out gameplay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, Notch,
Yes.
when did you start streaming?
I started streaming June of 2014. It was, I'm going to get a little personal here, guys. I ended up getting really, really sick. and losing work, and my wife had a fantastic job at the time, and I said, you know what, it's going to be like 6 months before I can go back to work. Do you mind if I chase my dream? And she's like, well, what is that? And I said, I want to play video games for people. And she said, absolutely. And so I started streaming in June of 2014, and I stream 6 nights a week, and I haven't stopped, and I love it. It's been the greatest. If you want to stream and you're afraid that, oh, I'm not going to be good at the video game, just try it. Because you'll find people that want to come in, whether it's 2 people or you make it and you've got 1,000 people in your channel. It's one of those things that it's such a cool experience to talk to the community and have conversations with people who enjoy doing the exact same thing you like to do.
Right.
So June of 2014, and I don't think I'm stopping anything.
Going strong ever
Going
since.
strong, yeah. And I'm here now. I never thought streaming I'd be sitting here doing something like this. So.
Oh, we can't wait to watch it. I mean, I've watched a number of streams, so I know all about some of your personality and
I gotta
what
be
you do.
I gotta be careful.
Hey,
I gotta
be
a little
be
bit
yourself
careful.
down there.
You do
Be yourself.
Do
you
me.
do you, because that's what makes it.
And that's the last time Notch was invited to Epic.
That's what makes it entertaining. So what this is, and all of this, by the way, is on our community spotlight that we have on the website, on the blog. But what games do you typically like to play?
So originally I was going to stream first-person shooters. I used to play Halo competitively. I think everybody says they play Halo competitively. Like Halo 2. I was a Halo 2 pro. Like, that's just the thing.
That's
Everybody's
the
done
thing
it.
people say.
I did. I completed at MLG, and I've done all of those. And I was going to do that, and Heroes of the Storm came out. And I got early access in Heroes of the Storm. And there's something about it, and I couldn't stop playing it. And I loved everything about the game. I liked that they got rid of some of the features I didn't like about MOBAs. And so I started streaming Heroes of the Storm, and that was it for a long time.
Okay.
And then a little game, Overwatch, came out, and I've been doing a lot of Overwatch. I mean, now it's a lot of different things. Halo, Division, which just came out, Overwatch, Witcher. So it started out as strictly MOBAs, moved into something more of a variety.
Right.
But for the past couple of weeks, it's been Paragon, and I've been telling my stream guys, the moment this NDA lifts, you're gonna be sick of Paragon because I'm not gonna stop.
Not gonna
So
stop.
you come today, like this is it. I've started Paragon. Paragon streaming is gonna be my thing for a bit, and
So you've
it's
been-
one of those games. You guys are killing me, like, because I don't play it on the weekends. So I'll play up until my stream time, and then I'll turn the game off, and then I have to go play something else, and I'm just like, God, I wish I was playing Paragon right now. So it's very hard to jump from that to streaming, so I can finally do it.
Right.
Yep.
That's good.
We have the same feeling.
It's got to be rough. I would just stay at work all the time.
Well, I mean, the way the
Come on,
company
it
play
happens.
tests are,
So-
I mean, everyone, we have mandatory company play tests that started January.
Jerks making you mandatory. You
Well,
have to play the
you
game.
have to play, but what you end up having is, even if you don't have to,
Yeah.
everyone queues up. Like
Yeah.
it's go time. Let's get our team together. Like I said, analytics. Where you at?
Where you at?
Where you at? But seriously, we enjoy playing the game a whole heck of a lot, and everyone is doesn't matter what project they're on here in the studio, everyone wants to play. So, it helps us make the game better by having people really passionate.
Yeah.
about
Because
playing.
we are, I'll say again, we are a part of the community. So
Yeah.
I'll be walking down the stairs after the 11 a.m. playtest, and 2 people who work in the building who I have never seen before will be having a conversation about the play they just made playing Paragon. Or, even better, one of them will be saying, oh, I this happened to me and it was really frustrating. The other person starts saying, well, what you want to do is you want to build attack speed. And, they start talking about builds and strategies
Yeah,
and how to combine heroes together for synergy. And it's the community is happening right before me, and I just walk down the stairs behind them listening and smiling, going, we're not all the way there, but we're...
And they're just like, who's this guy
Getting-
behind us
getting
just
there.
smiling?
Yeah.
Somebody's just following us around,
Creepily-
smiling.
Creepy smile.
Who's that guy? What's he doing?
So, I want to hammer through before we, run out of time while you guys are watching this gameplay. We are releasing, I believe today or on the 18th, I believe it's today, the community kit, which is our first stab at an API. And, we're going to include a couple things in it. We'll have hero data, images, artwork, card data, basically balance metric changes,
Yep.
you know, how
formulas for how
formulas,
armor and
yep.
resist work and stuff like that. Yep.
So we're expecting, you know, we've been getting a lot of requests. I know there's, you know, like Paragon DB.
Yeah.
This is another one. And I know a lot of community members are very anxious to get all that information. That'll be available here very soon. We'll probably end up going to release all of that information to the Reddit. So Jamie, be on the lookout for that. You know, as we move forward, we're going to basically solicit feedback from you guys.
Yeah,
what do you guys want to see
tell
in an
us, please.
API? Let us know on the forums.
Like you will be crafting how we release
yes.
this. It's very integral in the process to have you guys saying, like, we're 100% on board. We just want, what do you want? How can we give it to you? What's the best way?
So that's important. We wanted to talk about that. And then the replay system, you mentioned that earlier, a big community tool. You know, part of the new features that are in with the early access build is because we have an NDA lift today. Some of you guys that have seen the replay tool know how it works. Well, there's two things that we actually had hidden there that are going to go live. One of them is the ability to export replays, specific clips or the entire replay immediately out to your YouTube channel. And you also get a local file that you can edit or do whatever you want with it. So, you know, if you link your YouTube account to your Epic ID, and then when you hit that record button and export, you can upload it straight to YouTube. Now, the UI there is still kind of unfinished. We'll be working on that, making it a lot better. But that's some of the sharing functionality that we have in place right now. There's also a GIF creator, which I believe is listed on the Founders Pack page. So you can.
Let's not start.
Okay.
GIF.
Look, listen.
Or
It's
GIF.
not peanut butter.
I'm sorry.
It's GIF.
I don't say
I say
giraffe.
GIF,
I don't
but I
say
believe.
I don't
I
say
say
giraffe.
graphics. I don't say graphics.
Graphics.
I say graphics.
So look.
So.
Do you say GIF?
I do.
Ew.
So
It's
there's
not peanut butter.
it's not peanut butter.
It's not peanut
It's not
butter.
peanut butter.
Exactly. It's a GIF.
It's a GIF.
See, we're on the same page. See,
Alright.
so like there's
Another
a
religious
there's a
debate.
gift, like a gift.
It's not
You
a
just take
GIF.
off the T.
Yeah, it's GIF.
GIF.
I want to know what the Twitch stream is saying.
I
They're
don't
all
want to know
saying
what the
GIF.
Twitch
I just
stream-
want you to be.
I
they're
don't
all
want to know
saying
what you guys are
GIF
saying.
right
in
now.
chat. We purposely have the chat not showing so we could hammer through our first one. But we have people in chat right now. They're probably going to tell us like
They
they were
lose their
saying it's
mind.
GIF. No, it's GIF. It's peanut butter. It's not peanut
Peanut
butter.
butter. It's not, folks.
All right, I'm not focused. Focus. So you know, we talked about at the community event some of the replay tools that we want to, you know, kind of get to in the future. Some of them obviously more camera controls.
Yep.
The ability to obviously make very cinematic experiences, very similar to the early access trailers and things that you've seen by, you know, minimizing the HUD or completely getting rid of the HUD, so you get kind of that machinima style video creation that you guys can do and record. I mentioned the camera controls. There's also the ability to live view games right now, which is on a slight delay. But obviously we want to build that system up into a more robust live viewing experience for you guys. So, you know, as we continue to move forward, you guys are going to see a lot more community tools put in place. And I wanted to let Notch ask his questions because I know he
I've got
has
a bunch of
questions from the
Let's
community.
The
Let's do
Reddit
it.
community came out. I want to start off with skins, and I asked beforehand, are we going to see gender swap skins? Are we going to see something where, because the debate right now is Grux a girl.
He is not.
Lovely
He
set.
is not.
Lovely set on Grux.
Lovely.
Lovely set on Grux. Grux is not, so Grux is a male, but will we see gender swap skins? Will we see Rampagia? What's Steel's female name?
I have no idea.
Steel.
Femsteel? Man, that's terrible. You
Steel
keep
male.
doing this and
I'll
play
work
the
on
game.
it.
I'll work on it.
So currently we don't have gender swap skins
Okay.
in the works. However, you also asked, do we have a female tank
yeah.
coming? And in the near future lineup, we do not have a female tank coming.
But we will.
Eventually we will.
Okay.
Yes, eventually we will.
Okay.
And our lead times for heroes are pretty long.
Well, I know we're doing, you guys said already that 3 weeks for hero releases.
Yes.
And is that a strict 3 week or maybe like 3 to 5 weeks? Or are we
If
stick to
anything,
strict?
it would be 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, so it could be shorter. Okay.
We would love to over deliver.
Now
Yes.
with that, when a new hero comes out, and like you guys have said many times, the testers aren't going to find all of the bugs.
No.
If a new hero comes out and he's
Sorry, there are thousands of community
yeah,
members.
we're all going to put in more hours
Sorry,
in one day
testers,
than
yeah.
you do in a week. are we going to see balance patches quickly, or are we going to allow the community time to adjust to a hero when they're released?
Depends on the balance issue. If
Okay.
it's a fundamentally, like the game is broken,
Right.
we will hotfix if we can, and if
Okay.
not, we will release a patch.
So we'll have
A
time
lot
to
of,
work around.
yeah, you'll have a lot of time to work around it.
I like
If it's not a like fundamentally the game falls over, crashes, or you can't Severog is one of our characters coming out, and he is just unkillable, and he has 0
Nice.
deaths every match.
I like that.
You're right.
We should leave
Yeah,
that
as a
in.
rampage player,
Yeah,
we should leave that
I feel
in.
like that's
if
a
it's something
perfect
like
part.
if it's something like that, it has to be fixed immediately.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what I expect to see is the community learn how
Yeah.
to compete with and against that particular
Okay.
game.
Which
And,
makes
and to
sense.
add to that, in OT10 we actually tested it. If there's the hero that is super broken, we have the ability now via the latest maintenance, I think it would happen on Friday, to actually disable a hero specifically in the queue. So you can't choose him
Oh.
while we update on them, and then we'll update them.
Turn it back on.
We did that for Steel, I think, in OT9,
Yeah,
for
right.
example.
Steel's wall wasn't showing. His
Yeah,
energy
Force
wall.
shield, yeah.
His force shield wasn't showing.
I wasn't
and
using that in internal play.
It was, yeah. So if you put it down in the jungle,
Gotta
the
get 'em.
edges of the wall would be inside
Stop.
geometry,
Oh,
and
nice.
you'd run into it in travel mode and just get rooted.
It doesn't sound like fun. Like
No,
Twin
yeah,
Blast. I
it's-
know Twin Blast this past week.
Mhm.
I was told he's doing like double
He
damage.
had double damage on his ult.
Which
Yeah.
we should leave that. I feel like we should leave that. That's
Yeah.
totally
You
game
would.
No,
changing.
it's fixed. It's fixed.
It's fixed.
I don't want to play this game anymore. Voice chat.
Yes.
A lot of people have asked about voice chat. Will we see voice chat in the game, or are we going to stick to our Discords and outside sources?
So yes, we will have voice chat in the game eventually.
Okay.
So right now, because it's people who are buying founders packs,
Right.
the community is filled with hardcore gamers who
Right.
are opting into spending money on a game that is in progress. We know that they will find ways to voice chat. So they'll use Mumble or Curse
Right.
or Vent or whatever. And on PS4, they have Party System built in.
Right.
The end goal is to make crossplay as seamless as possible, and that would include cross-platform voice chat, and then obviously same platform voice chat would just
Okay.
come as part
Very
of that.
cool.
But we have to get through early access
gotta make the
launch.
game
Get to that point.
See
Yeah,
if the
get through the
game,
18th.
right? Get through the 18th,
Yeah.
and then we can figure out where it is on the roadmap.
So the design for Agora. A lot of people, again, they talk about how pretty it is. Where did you guys come up with that? What were the inspiration, the idea of
Our art
the
team is
world?
phenomenal.
They're fantastic.
They really are.
It's so
Killing
good.
it.
Yeah. So they went to a bunch of places to get inspiration.
Right.
They looked at movies like Avatar and Interstellar, and they've been all over the internet and ArtStation, stuff like that, looking at other people's concept art and getting ideas for the trees. And then they just went, well, what we want to emote is this idea of an ancient civilization that
Right.
has been grown over in this beautiful, lush, paradise. And so they came up with the rest of it, the moss and the flowers and the jungle canopy,
Which is
and
amazing.
it's beautiful.
You guys can see it now.
I'll just get stuck in a corner. Like,
And
I'll be
and you just
"When-
be
When
staring.
did they? When?
Yeah.
Look
Where
at
did that
detail.
come
Like,
from?
when
And you
did,
just
was
look-
that always there? And then I'll just like stand there for a second. Be like, "Hey, are you coming to lane? No, I'm
We're
good
good.
right here. I'm good right
And the
here."
fun part is that they aren't happy with it. They aren't
How are
happy.
they not?
Yeah.
I saw that. I love the disclaimer.
Like we were playing. I remember we were playing this map. And
It's not good enough for
He,
them yet.
they come down. She's like, that's ugly. I was like, what are you talking about? This is in no way ugly.
Yep.
Can we see? Are we going to see other maps? Are we going to see other skins? Or are we going to stick with strictly this 3-lane, what we have in the game now?
So
Or could
eventually
we
we'll
see
see
more?
other game modes and maps.
Okay.
We are a small team, and we're pushing for just getting a live game, like our first Founders Pack sold live game running from Epic.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work to do. But eventually we'll be adding new maps, new game modes. The easy ones to say are like, hey, it'd be nice to have an ARAM
Right.
or a one-lane map for smaller teams.
Right.
And that would be awesome. We'd like
Okay.
to do tutorials. There's a lot of stuff we'd love to do. It's just
Custom matches? Can we see
Love-
custom matches?
I would love to get to custom.
Because that is,
Yeah,
I got
private
like
matches.
45,
Mhm.
100.
Yep.
Custom matches, when can we see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have private matches at some point.
Will we see a public beta for new features?
Public test environment.
Public test environment, yeah.
That's a good question. I think so.
Okay.
Mostly because a lot of the features, a lot of things we want to do related to movement speed and whether passives are working properly for heroes or not, we're going to have multiple weeks of work in order to do it.
Right.
And that's not really the type of thing you do with a live paying community.
Right.
But we'd love for the people to have the opportunity to opt into a public test environment
Okay.
and give us live feedback on on features as they go in.
I've got one more that I think it goes back to like patching. How often can we see patches? I know there's been some games that have come out and they patch so much that every time a new patch comes out, we're learning the game over again. Are we
Right.
going to see more of that a steady patch system where it's not drastic changes? Or again, it probably comes down to playtime and
So
game breaking.
our idea, and we're going to look to the community to tell us if we're doing it right. Our idea has been we're going to try to patch on a weekly basis.
Okay.
But when we do kind of gameplay changing patches, we want to let the community know what's coming,
Right.
and then do them thematically,
Okay.
right? So this patch will be, like OT4 was a movement combat speed
yeah.
Yeah.
improvement patch, and it was okay, this is coming, this is what we did, here are the numbers, here are the features, on it goes, let us
Yeah.
know what you think. And then, another patch was something else and something else. And
Okay.
so what we'd like to do is, as KL and crew identify key things, and not everything is fixable in a 1 week span.
Right.
So as we find something that needs to be addressed, we get a group together to start working on it, and then a couple weeks out from that, we say, okay, the next patch, or maybe the one after that, this feature will be improved. We hope, right? You'll let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
We'll tell you.
It's rooted in that community feedback.
Right. So we don't want to do game-breaking patches
Right.
every week because that's not fun.
We've seen that. I mean, a perfect example is Mortal Kombat 10.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys were. It was every week or every time they patched, it was totally changed the game.
Right.
And that's not fun when we're having to every couple of weeks relearn everything we know.
Mhm.
Right.
But the
And
one,
we'll do things like we'll have a week, sometime in the near future where we add a few more cards,
yeah,
and that will totally change the game. But
right.
it won't be.
And
It should be game shifting, not game changing.
how much more are we going to see with the card system? I know I said one more. I lied.
Uh-huh.
I feel like. Are we going to see, like, the mana and health pots, they give you a cool graphic when you click them.
Yes.
Are we going to see more cards like that where we get, oh, he's got a card that adds Fury or whatever it is.
Mhm.
So we'll see more cards like that in the future.
Yes.
And is the UI is very unfinished.
Mhm.
Are we going to see where, okay, I know I only have 3 of these cards in my deck. We're going to get counters and stuff like that so we can see what's going on
Right.
during the game.
Yeah, so I'll give maybe a little preview. So one of the things that we've learned from the online tests is that deck building, and particularly when you're in the card shop in-game, you can get yourself, even with starter decks, into a spot where you have points left over and you
Yeah.
don't have upgrades for it, and that's confusing for a new player and frustrating for veterans. And so, okay, yes, we need to fix that. So one of the things that the UI team has started working on is adding linking. So when you're building a deck, you can select an equipment card and then decide to link upgrades to it. And when you get to
Oh.
the shop, it'll only show upgrades that are related to that
Right.
equipment card.
That's awesome.
Or if you are a pro player and you know exactly how your deck functions,
Yeah.
you can add those upgrades unlinked just like they are now,
Right.
or you can mix and match. And so I can have the Agoran Scepter as an example,
Yeah.
and I can have upgrades that apply to that, and I can have some other ones that are energy damage
Right.
or whatever under here. And if I want to use these floating upgrades for another energy damage card, I can do that, or I can apply it to that
So you
one.
can kind of
But
play
the three,
around the flow of the game.
the 3 or 4 or 5 that I link explicitly to this upgrade card will only show for that upgrade card. And that will allow, so starter decks will be rebuilt in a way that each equipment card has 3 upgrades and only 3 upgrades. There
Yeah.
is no way to break the system and build wrong.
Right.
You're just now making a choice of
We're
which
just
upgrade
teaching you
card.
how to do this,
Right.
which I think makes sense because it can be,
Yep.
if you're not a Hearthstone player, if you're not into card games,
Yes.
it can be a little bit overwhelming
is.
when you
Yeah,
jump
I
in
was
and see.
Yeah.
find certain ways to explain it. Like I'd be like, it's like a pizza. You have your equipment cards,
Yeah.
the dough, and
Right.
the toppings or the upgrades. You're not just gonna eat
That's
pizza dough. You gotta
delicious.
put the toppings on it,
Yeah.
right?
Best analogy ever.
Yeah.
I like that's a fanboy analogy. I like that.
Great.
I like it.
So it's one of those systems that we know we need to improve.
Yeah.
UI team is on it. We've done some UX testing to make sure this approach works. And now it's just finding time and space to implement it.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've got so many more questions. If you guys want to come down while I'm streaming,
Sure.
I've got list of questions. Or we can rattle off for the next 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, I'll stop
Just
down.
go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Stop down there in the stream.
Awesome.
Be the
Ask away.
disembodied voice.
Yes,
over
I
and
like
off
it.
your
We'll
shoulder.
be like, hey, what's up?
Okay.
So he's going to be on the absolute best PCs in the building.
They don't know I'm taking one home. They do now. I've already have one in my bag. It's ready to go.
Just hiding it in there.
I've got a backpack. It
Oh,
doesn't look anything
fantastic.
like a computer at all.
It's genius.
I'm
Perfect.
looking forward to seeing what the game looks like down there when he's streaming. to my knowledge, no one has streamed or tried to stream internally at all on those. It's only been capture, so whew, can't wait to see. But Josh, thank you so much. I know you got to get
been an
ready to
honor.
set up
It's been a
downstairs.
Yeah.
We're going to be hosting Anothernotch as soon as the stream ends here momentarily for the noon NDA lip. So you can stick around on here. You can go to his channel. We highly encourage you to go over to Notch's channel, follow his channel, and support him. He's a fantastic asset and for the community,
He's the
for
guy.
you guys to you know, sink your teeth into him because he's going to be giving away codes.
Codes. I've got codes. I've got 2 of these sweaters to give away still.
These hoodies? Look at
I
that.
do. I've got.
Style that, Steve.
I may try and steal a couple more, but I do have codes to give away.
Yep.
I'm gonna give away a PC today. I'm not giving away a PC today. I'm not doing that. But yeah, we'll have codes right away. As soon as the stream goes live, I'm gonna give away a Founders Pack.
Yep.
Nice.
So you guys will want to stick around, and you get to see those skins.
Yeah. That howitzer skin. It's still.
Hot Ride.
It's so good. Which does that come with? That's
That
for
comes
buying
with the
in,
Founders
correct?
Pack.
Yes,
Yeah.
it comes with the Challengers
starting at
and Masters Founder
$19.99.
Pack. So it's the
$59.99.
second tier,
The 59.
and
So that's the one I'll
99.
give away. So you guys can get. I'll give away the 59. So you guys can get that howitzer skin
Nice.
because it's so good.
Yeah, and they will be able to play
Can
on the
I
18th.
enter to
Is
win?
when
You can't enter.
They will
to
have
win.
those.
No, it's
Okay.
it's. I have a strictly no Mooney rule.
Okay.
It's not because. It's just because of
the
you.
no
Oh,
Mooney rule.
okay.
No, that's it.
Alright, I see.
It's not because you're an epic employee.
I see what's going on. It's
you're
just
Nathan
because
Mooney.
of my
It's
name. is
just
Nathan
because
Mooney.
it's
Okay.
it's the name.
I see.
It's not the constant amazing skill and you're better than everybody else.
Just so you know, when you leave the room, it's like
We're done.
These two.
Let's recap though. Mooney said, and we need replay and video, right?
Yes.
Replay and video. But Mooney said
If he loses within the first 3 hours,
he's going to shave his head.
he's going to shave his head.
I'll do that live on
and
my stream.
we will make sure he's online.
yeah, I'll
playing.
do it live stream.
We
I
can
will
do it
shave
live.
my
I
head.
will take the time
You can
out
shave
and
my
I will
head.
shave your head.
Fantastic.
That sounds great.
A&G right in the top. Another Notch Gaming right in the top of your head. Let's do this.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be a good day.
Sounds good. All right,
So,
Josh.
to reiterate, when you give out codes,
Yes.
people will be able to download today,
Download so
but play
Play on
the
the
18th.
18th. Yep. So, you guys know. All right.
Thanks,
Josh, I'm going to
guys.
let you go get
Really
set up.
appreciate it.
Yep.
I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Just send me a
Bye, guys.
message. All right. Well, we are moments away, 8 minutes away.
Minutes.
Let me make sure.
It's happening.
Let me
Sinking.
check my
It's
phone.
been a
too.
really fun adventure getting to
Let
this
me
spot.
check my phone too.
Yeah.
From
So
the what are we gonna make? Let's make a competitive game. Okay, what are we gonna make?
8 minutes, and the NDA lifts.
Yep.
12 p.m. Eastern.
Flood of content.
Founders packs are, I believe, on sale now. You can go to Paragon.com and purchase Founders packs. They will work on PS4 as well. Once you redeem the key, you have to the code. You have to link your PSN account to your Epic ID, and you will be able to play on March 18th. March 18th is when you will be able to play. So
Daylight
you can
savings.
pre-purchase now,
Forward up.
play on the 18th. All of our OT members, as a thank you for helping, they can all play the game as of right now, starting March 14th through the 18th. So you guys will be able to watch people that have been playing the game, talk about the game, tell you guys how we can improve, tell you guys the state of the game, because we're very upfront with early access on the state of the game, where we would like to go in the future, and you know, we can't do it without you guys. So every bit of feedback helps, and you know, we really appreciate everything that you guys have done so far. So thank you so much.
Let's be. I want to be very clear again. If you played an online test, you can play the game indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
You don't have to buy a Founders Pack in order to play. You
Nope.
just get to play as a
Yes.
thank you from us. You can buy a Founders Pack. We'd love for you to buy a Founders Pack and get master challenges and skins and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Skins.
But you don't have to do that. You can just play and be a part of the community because you're already a part of the community, and why would we turn that off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That would be silly.
it has been awesome. Make sure you guys follow the official Paragon stream for more live game development updates. Our next stream will probably cover Severog. If you guys have visited the site, you see two heroes down there. You got Severog, who will come out first, and then you have Iggy and Scorch. Both are very fun to play. Iggy and Scorch will probably be my new main for the live. Unlock my master.
Ashamed to call you my apprentice. Ashamed.
I'm so mad that I set myself up for that. I'm going to hear that.
You're gonna hear
for
that all day.
Weeks. I'm going to hear myself being the
Years,
apprentice
in
to this
fact.
guy.
It'll be all worth it when Mooney's bald.
Yes. Please beat Mooney so I can have that dangling over his
So
head.
your job now is to get online
Right.
at noon in 6 minutes
Just and lose.
and play.
Play.
Okay, play. Yeah.
I will be
But-
watching.
Yeah.
3 hours. I'm not. If it's like 3 hours and if I lose at the 1 minute mark on the like into the 4th hour,
I'm just waiting for your team to throw the game. That would be awesome.
there's like
They're gonna
inches
be
from
like,
the core, and then
"It's
they all
Mooney!"
just suicide.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't wait. So next stream we have, he might be growing a little bit of hair back.
some of it might be back, some of it.
Yeah, maybe. So make sure, again, follow us here on Twitter. It's the official Paragon channel. We're going to be hosting up live streams of community members throughout the duration of our live streams. We're going to have community members on. We're going to do spotlights. We're going to give away goodies on our website, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere we're at. Again, we're super community focused, and like I said before, we can't do this without all of you guys. We're going to be hosting Anothernotch here shortly. Let's see if he sent me a message. I asked him to. We might just throw him on and see if he's ready. But as soon as that goes live, we will host him up. You guys have any last thoughts? We got a first stream. We did it.
We did
Yeah,
it.
we did it. We made it.
Hour and a
Survived.
half.
Survival.
Yeah.
I'm going to check the chat now.
It's oh goodness.
You know,
Chat's coming.
Here it is.
Here it is. All right. Let's pop out the chat. Where's
okay.
it?
That's,
down
that's
top.
that one. There
Okay.
it is.
Hello, chat.
Hello,
We
chat.
did it.
We did it.
Reddit. We did it, Reddit.
Show new heroes. You guys can see the new heroes on the website.
Show us. Yeah, all of this is on the.
Hey, Flack.
Oh, there's a question. Are we going to do colorblind mode? Yes, we plan on doing colorblind mode.
There you go.
There's a large. It's surprising to know that there's a large number of our artists who are colorblind.
Mooney going down.
Which
Yeah,
is-
right. Come at me. This.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
There we go. Made the chat a little bit bigger so we can see it. Yo, Arctic, what's up, guys?
I should shave Mooney's head right now.
No,
right, I
no,
should.
no, you shouldn't.
Mooney show skins. You guys are gonna get to see Notch show off some skins, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skins are this.
So it'll be up on the EU PSN store.
I did not say 3 days.
It's should be today.
Yeah.
It should be today unless they run into some technical difficulties on their side.
Right.
But if not, certainly tomorrow. And it's pre-order and pre-download today, but play on the
Player
18th.
on the
Yeah.
18th. Best community team NA.
Hashtag shave.
Thank
Mooney.
you.
Hashtag
Oh my
Shave
God.
Mooney. You guys see Mooney's Twitter down there.
Oh, no.
What is it? It's right down
That's
there.
not it.
You guys
That's-
see it right?
That's just kidding.
right,
That's
right there. Tweet hashtag Shave Mooney.
that's.
Hashtag all heroes free.
Hi, Flack.
Yeah. Well, this should be exciting.
Yes.
I'll see you guys on the forums. It should be fun.
Hashtag Bald Mooney.
Get those community, get that community feedback in. Mooney, stop.
Hashtag beat the guy.
Another notch.
So there's a question: does the 1999 Founders Pack include the Hot Rod Howitzer skin? It does not. So the 1999 Founders Pack gets 3 Master Challenges, gets a 3-win time currency boost, access
boost.
to the game,
Yep.
obviously.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then as you go up in Founders Pack tiers, it goes up a whole lot more, including
Increasing
the
levels of goodies.
increasing levels of goodies is a great way to put it. So the Challenger is 13 heroes and the Master is 39 heroes. So that's a lot.
Yes.
So
and the unique skin.
we're about 2 minutes away. I think I'm going to go ahead and host him up. He
Yeah.
should be ready by now. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm going to do a little surprise here. This is first come, first serve.
Some first come, first serve.
He's still setting up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, cool.
All right.
We getting some.
Please make a Zac Efron Twin Blast skin.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so somebody
Yes.
had a question, what is a Master Challenge? So a Master Challenge, because you can play heroes for free, a Master Challenge is basically a reward path for each hero. And that reward path is level 1 through 5, Anybody, if you don't own the Master Challenge, you get those rewards anyway. And then level 6 through 10, including the Challenger skin, comes with unlocking and purchasing the Master Challenge. So you get 3 Master Tributes, which are rewards. You get an emote at level 8, and you get the Master Skin at level 10, and the Challenger skin immediately when you unlock it.
Now, when you guys go into the, oops, wrong tab. When you go into the game, if you're in an online test, or if you come in on the 18th, when you check out the the challenge, you'll see the path that you have to follow, and each little notch on there is a reward. Is a reward.
And you can tooltip over. You can cursor over it.
Keep track of your progress. You come in the next day and be like, oh, I have one more to get to that emote or get to that master skin. You can kind of keep track of your own progress and see your skills grow.
Someone said, Arctic, please don't feed more. Oh gosh.
Oh, Arctic, don't feed
called
more.
out.
This guy getting bodied on stream.
It's noon, but game's still down.
So if it's noon, but the game's still down, try taking your try closing your launcher, and then restarting it.
Yep.
Can you purchase lower tier Founders Pack and upgrade to a higher one at a later date? That's one of the questions up there.
So I missed that.
It says, can you purchase lower tier Founder Pack and then upgrade to a higher one at a later date?
Yes, absolutely you can. So in the in-game shop, you'll be able, or in-game store, you'll be able to upgrade to a higher level Founders Pack if you want.
Clint, why are you this guy? There's people in the room typing #Shave Mooney. It's just my name in game is just Epic Mooney, so just.
So I just saw, I missed at the top of the screen another question about Founders Packs and Master Challenges. Could you retype that if that was you?
NDA is lifted now, guys.
Yeah.
We're
You
not
guys
the
can
only
go
ones
post your
saying
content.
You can disclose. Yeah.
So you don't get heroes from buying packs, buying Founders Packs. They're free.
You're
the
unlocking
cosmetic rewards that you get are unlocked when you unlock that hero and purchase it.
So the
So you can play it. You can play it without the cosmetics as indefinitely.
You see, it's not. I'm not being cocky because I'm 21 and 3, right? So
All right. So there's another question about people who are in the OT and whether they have to buy a Founders Pack. You do not have to purchase a Founders Pack if you are in the OT. You can play for free because you've already invested. You've already invested time with us.
That is
and
our
helped us
thank
so
you
much.
to you guys for playing in any online test and helping us improve the game.
So I assume somebody said, if I buy a Founders Pack, can I still play today? Yes, if you buy a Founders Pack and you are part of the OTs, it will not turn off your access to the game. You can play today if you're part of the OTs. So will progress reset when the game is released? No. We reset accounts yesterday.
Yeah.
In preparation for early access preview and then early access launch on Friday. The intent is to never reset progress from here on out.
Yeah.
It says the launcher is live. I saw that.
All right, so someone said explain time currency, please. So time currency is the currency, it's reputation. It's what you get. So you play a match, and if you win, you get reputation. If you lose, you get a little bit less reputation. Reputation is given out in rewards and stuff like that. And it's basically our time currency. So the League example would be influence points. Here's the Storm example would be gold. It's the currency you get for just playing the game. And you can use that to unlock card packs.
No, I think we can throw it to somebody said Anothernotch showing off skins on his stream.
Okay.
Okay,
All
cool.
right. We'll go ahead and pass it over to Anothernotch. We
Thanks,
hope you guys
guys.
enjoyed the stream. Watch skins over on Notch's channel. We're going to go ahead and host him up. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you probably on his stream momentarily.
Yep.
Earlier.
Peace.
Later.